The night was unusually quiet. Daniel Harper sat alone by the window of his small apartment in Chicago. The city lights flickered outside, but inside his heart felt heavy. Life had not gone the way he expected. His business was struggling. His savings were nearly gone. Every day seemed filled with uncertainty. Yet every night before sleeping, Daniel prayed the same simple prayer. God, if you have a purpose for my life, please show me. Give me a sign that you are with me. Weeks passed. Nothing seemed to happen. Then one night, Daniel had a dream unlike any he had ever experienced. It felt real, it felt important, and it was only the beginning, because throughout history, God has often used dreams to encourage, guide, and prepare people for his plans. While not every dream carries a spiritual message, some dreams leave a deep impression that stays with you long after you wake up. Here are 7 powerful dreams that many believers associate with God's calling on a person's life. 1. The dream of a bright, open door. Daniel found himself standing in a long, dark hallway. Everything around him was silent. Then, at the far end of the hallway, a brilliant door appeared. Light poured from beneath it. The light wasn't harsh. It was warm, peaceful, and inviting. As Daniel walked toward it, he felt fear disappear. Just before he touched the handle, he woke up. For days, he couldn't stop thinking about that dream. Soon afterward, an unexpected opportunity came into his life, one that would eventually change his future. A dream about an open door often symbolizes new beginnings. It may indicate that God is preparing a path you cannot yet see. Sometimes we spend so much time staring at closed doors that we fail to notice the one God is opening right in front of us. When God chooses someone for a purpose, he often begins by opening a new season. 2. The dream of climbing a mountain. Several nights later, Daniel had another dream. He was climbing an enormous mountain. The path was difficult. Strong winds pushed against him. Loose rocks slid beneath his feet. Many times he felt like giving up, but he kept moving. Finally, after what felt like hours, he reached the summit. The view was breathtaking. A golden sunrise stretched across the sky. Peace filled his heart. Then he woke up. Mountains often represent challenges, growth, and spiritual preparation. God rarely calls people without first preparing them. The struggle itself becomes part of the training. The higher the mountain, the greater the view at the top. If you've dreamed of climbing despite obstacles, it may be a reminder that your current difficulties are preparing you for something greater. 3. The dream of receiving a golden key. One night, Daniel dreamed he was standing in a beautiful field. An elderly man dressed in white approached him. Without speaking a word, the man handed him a shining golden key. Daniel held it in his hand and immediately felt that it was important. Then the dream ended. Keys often symbolize authority, access, wisdom, and responsibility. A key unlocks what was once closed. When God chooses someone for a special assignment, he may begin opening doors of understanding that were previously hidden. The key doesn't always represent wealth or success. Sometimes it represents spiritual insight. Sometimes it represents a new opportunity. And sometimes it represents a responsibility that God is entrusting to you. 4. The dream of flowing water. A few weeks later, Daniel dreamed he was standing beside a river. The water was crystal clear. It flowed gently through a beautiful valley. As he watched the river, all the stress and anxiety he carried seemed to disappear. For the first time in months, he felt completely at peace. Then he woke up. The feeling remained. Throughout Scripture, water often symbolizes life, renewal, healing, and God's presence. A dream about flowing water can be a reminder that God is restoring your spirit. Even when life feels dry and difficult, his provision continues to flow. You may not see it immediately, but beneath the surface, God is already at work. 5. The dream of hearing your name. One evening, Daniel experienced a dream that he would never forget. Everything around him was bright. Then he heard a voice. Daniel! The voice was calm and powerful. He turned around. No one was there. Again the voice called. Daniel! It felt personal. It felt intentional. Then he woke up. His heart was racing. Hearing your name in a dream can symbolize identity and purpose. God knows every detail about your life. He sees your struggles. He sees your future. And he knows your name. Many people spend years searching for their purpose. But when God calls someone, he often begins by reminding them who they truly are. 6. The dream of carrying a light. Months later, Daniel dreamed he was walking through a city covered in darkness. People seemed lost. Fear was everywhere. Yet Daniel carried a lantern. The light shined brightly. As he walked forward, others began following the light. The darkness slowly faded. Then he woke up. Light often symbolizes truth, hope, wisdom, and God's guidance. When God chooses someone, he doesn't call them merely to receive blessings. He calls them to become a blessing. The experiences you've survived may become the very thing that helps someone else. Your testimony could be the light another person desperately needs. 7. The dream of an eagle soaring above the storm. The final dream came during one of the most difficult seasons of Daniel's life. His finances were struggling again. Doubt began creeping into his thoughts. Then one night he saw an eagle. Dark storm clouds filled the sky. Powerful winds roared below. But the eagle wasn't afraid. Instead of fighting the storm, it used the wind to rise higher. Higher and higher it climbed until it soared above the clouds. clouds. The storm remained below. The eagle remained above. Then Daniel woke up. This dream filled him with hope. Eagles are often associated with strength, vision, courage, and spiritual elevation. The dream seemed to carry a powerful message. The storm may be real, but it is not greater than God's plan for your life. What feels like opposition today may become the very thing that lifts you higher tomorrow. Final message. Years later, Daniel realized something important. The dreams themselves were not the greatest blessing. The greatest blessing was that they drew him closer to God. They strengthened his faith. They reminded him that he was never alone, and they helped him trust God even when he couldn't see the future. If you've experienced dreams that leave a lasting impression on your heart, don't ignore them. Pray about them. Write them down. Seek God's wisdom, because sometimes God begins preparing a person long before they understand where he is leading them. And while you may not know what tomorrow holds, God does. The dream that stirred your heart may not be showing you where you are today. It may be showing you who God is calling you to become.